How to run a 2-hour half marathon. So this goes back to what we were talking about in regards to the breaking a 4-hour marathon. Uh, the goal pace per mile for a 4-hour marathon is nine minutes and 9 seconds per mile. So what you want to do is you got to focus on how do I hold 9 minutes and 9 seconds per mile for 13.1 miles. And one of the key things that you can do in regards to getting under the 2-hour half marathon is to focus on that long run. I stress this, I have to stress it on every single video, regardless of what pace, regardless of what particular event that you're focusing on. It doesn't matter if it's a 5K or all the way up to the marathon distance. The long run is the most important workout that you will be doing in regards to focusing on breaking a 2-hour half marathon. The key is just to be patient, because when you're first starting out, you're obviously not very fit. You're not very patient. It's very frustrating to not be able to hit the splits that you want early in your training block. So what I need you to do in regards to if you really want to break 2 hours for the half marathon, there are a lot of different things you got to do. But the most important thing is focusing on extending the amount of time that you're spending at 9 minutes and 9 seconds or 5 minutes and 41 seconds per kilometer in that long run. Early on in your fitness, it's going to be maybe you might only be able to hold it for like 2 miles in your long run. Say it's a 15-mile run you have planned. Run the first 12 miles easy. Allow yourself to get adapt to the fitness, and then run the last 3 miles at 9 minutes and 9 seconds per mile pace. So the key thing is to one, let your fitness come to you. Don't expect instant results right off the bat. It takes approximately 21 days or 3 weeks for your body to adapt to any stress load that you're placing on it. So you really have to be cognizant of allowing your body to adapt to the stress. But over time, you're gonna build a lot of strength and a lot of endurance from those long runs. So really, I have to stress, you will be able to hold 9 minutes and 9 seconds per mile for 13 miles. I don't know where you're currently at in regards to your half. Is it I don't know if you're a 2 hour and 45-minute half marathoner or 2 hours and 5 minutes, but wherever you're at currently, the main thing is to break 2 hours for a half is sustaining that pace over 13.1 miles. So one, make sure you're patient. Allow yourself time to adapt, because it's very, very frustrating to not get the results that you want quickly. I fully understand that. Over the years, I've tried to get the half marathon. One of my personal goals was to break an hour and 5 minutes. My PR currently right now is an hour and 7 minutes and 6 seconds. So I fully understand the struggle that it takes to run a great half marathon. And breaking 2 hours is very, very tough. I mean, you're going, once you're under 2 hours, that tells one, that's an indicator that you can break 4 hours for the marathon. If you can do it for 13.1 miles, you can do it for 26.2 miles. So are there other things that you have to do to get under 2 hours? Absolutely. How much rest you're getting, how fast are you running on your recovery runs? Are you, that's a real key point. I really advocate using heart rate monitors. I've been using them since 1996 when I met Coach Hazen, Jack Hazen at Malone University. That's where I did my undergraduate work at. He got me started on it. Heart rate training basically gives you an idea of, one, are you running too fast on your hard days? And two, it keeps you in that zone of where you need to be when you're doing your long runs or your tempo runs. So again, give yourself time to get under 2 hours. I would advise doing a 12 to 16 week block of training for a half marathon. That gives you plenty of time to adapt and get fit. But just know that the results don't come overnight. I wish it was easier. I wish I had a better piece of advice for you. Like, you could just, run under 2 hours like that, but that's not how it works. And you definitely have to just be patient, continue to, write down each week's training what have you done, how far have you gotten, at least on your long run, what type of paces are you holding. I mean, something to think about is write down how many miles a week you're running, and then find out what percentage of that total weekly volume are you running at or below goal half marathon race pace. And if the percentage is very, very high, then you have a very good chance. You have a higher chance of breaking 2 hours than if it's very, very low. So, if you just think of it this way, if you're doing a 20 mile run at 11-minute mile pace, is that really going to prepare you to break the whole 909 per mile for 13.1 miles? So you have to do a lot of other types of training, not just the long run, because you got to keep in mind that's your average mile pace you have to hold to break 2 hours. So you have to average 9 minutes and 9 seconds a mile, or 5 minutes and 41 seconds per kilometer. So a lot of your miles and a lot of your kilometers are going to be run at much faster paces than 909 and 541. So be cognizant of that. So focus on doing your track workouts. If you're doing mile repeats, say do the mile repeats at like 7 minutes and 15 seconds per mile. 6 by a mile on the track, 7 minutes 15 seconds. You're running way, way below sub 2 hour half marathon pace. And as you get fitter, your recovery rests in between those mile repeats will lessen, will go down. Like say it might be, you might need 5 or 6 minutes rest in the early stages of your training. Later on, when you get fitter, you might need only 2 or 3 minutes. But doing all the other little things outside of just the marathon or just the long run itself will add up to you being fit enough to break 2 hours. It's Dr. Joe Vigil, one of the world's best exercise physiologists, and was a mentor of mine too for years. As I was going through college, he always says, it's not just the workout it's not just the workout. It's what are you doing the other hours of the day that matter. And remember too that the results come in the rest. It doesn't come in the workout. You can go out and you do the workout, but it's recovering and resting. There is a principle called supercompensation. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and Google it. Highly recommend looking into that, because basically what it states is you do the workout and your body becomes really, really weak after that workout. But as long as you recover, you give yourself time to rest after that workout. Usually between 48 hours, 36 to 48 hours after a very, very difficult workout, your body will come back even stronger than it was prior to you starting that workout. So just something to look up, definitely. I didn't know anything about it until I got into college and started hearing about all this exercise physiology terminology. So, but yeah, that's really just a few tips, a few ideas to get you thinking about what do I need to adjust in my training to get under 2 hours. One, make sure you lengthen your long run and extend the amount of time that you're spending at goal half marathon race pace. Get used to running under 9-minute mile pace, and the longer that you can extend that amount of time, the better you're going to be prepared to run a sub 2 hour half marathon. So I know it's long-winded, but a lot more. I will be making a lot more videos, but I think those are really the key things. Practice your fluid intake and drinking during your long run as well, because in the half and the marathon as well, your body really, really needs that fluid and caloric intake. So don't neglect that piece, because fluid intake, calorie intake, and being able to spend a higher percentage of your weekly mileage at or below sub 2 hour half marathon pace is really going to set you up for success. So with that, I hope those tips were helpful, and definitely leave a comment below if there's something like really specific regarding your half marathon that's giving you issues. Let me know, because I'd like to make a video to touch on that. There's a lot more that goes into running a half marathon, but definitely if it's a specific time goal like a sub 2 hour half marathon, you really, really have to focus on training in a specific way. So hope that was helpful, and have a great evening or afternoon wherever you are at in the world, and run, dream, achieve.